Hello, and welcome to episode 122 of Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. Of course, I am your host, Rick Doherty. On today's show, I'm going to continue my debate with Marissa from Chicago as to which Walt Disney World theme park is the best, Epcot or Disney's Animal Kingdom. We started this friendly argument last week in episode 121, and we will finish it today. Just like last week, there is a lot of theme park news happening, and I thought I'd run through some of it before I bring Marissa on the show. Earlier this week, Splash Mountain in Disneyland officially closed for its upcoming retheme to Tiana's Bayou Adventure. Original Disney Imagineer Tony Baxter, who was the lead Imagineer who created the ride, showed up to Disneyland to ride it one final time on Splash Mountain's final day. After the version in Walt Disney World closed earlier this year, the only remaining Splash Mountain is in Tokyo Disneyland. This retheme is not going to be quick. Tiana's Bayou Adventure is not expected to open at Magic Kingdom until late 2024. On the East Coast, Walt Disney World has entered into VI pass holder days, lasting until my birthday, June 30th. As I mentioned in last week's episode, this will include a Figment pass holder magnet that can be picked up at Epcot. There are also some special temporary pass holder lounges, special AP Photo Pass magic shots, and temporarily increased discounts for pass holders. Also happening this month, Alicia Stella from Orlando Park Stop is raising money for the Trevor Project in honor of Pride Month. As of right now, I'm planning on having Alicia on the show in a few weeks, but what she is doing is so incredibly important based on the current atmosphere down here in Florida. In addition to raising money, it is important to show members of the LGBTQ+ community that we support them. For information and to donate, head to orlandoparkstop.com/charity. Last year, you helped me raise money for survivors of domestic violence, and earlier this year, you helped me collect 146 basketballs, soccer balls, and volleyballs for Boys and Girls Club of Central Florida. That was $1,300 in donations. When considering everything happening in Florida right now, this might be even more of an immediate need. If you do donate, please mention the Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty podcast in your comment. This is a busy month for Alicia, and she is giving up her valuable time to come on the show. Let's show her that it was worth her time. orlandoparkstop.com/charity. Now to Universal Orlando Resort, where the Jurassic Park Tribute Store has opened at Universal Studios Florida in honor of the original Jurassic Park movie's 30th anniversary. Yes, I feel old now, but I'm going to push through it. The Tribute Store is loaded with special 30th anniversary merchandise, themed treats, photo ops, and displays giving a behind-the-scenes look at how the original movie was filmed before CGI technology took over the effects. In more recent movie news, the live-action Little Mermaid had the 5th highest-grossing Memorial Day opening weekend in history, earning $117 million at the box office. The popularity of the movie has also found its way into the theme parks, with aerial meet and greets inspired by the live-action film in both Disneyland and Walt Disney World. In Disneyland, Ariel is meeting near It's a Small World in Fantasyland, and she's meeting in Disney's Hollywood Studios in Walt Disney World in the same building as the movie One Man's Dream. These meet and greets have been getting very, very long lines, so be prepared if that is an important part of your family's vacation. Earlier this week, 2024 vacation packages went on sale for Walt Disney World. These packages include your first chances to purchase the Disney Dining Plan since way back in 2020. These packages will also not be hampered by Park Pass reservations. While a lot has changed at Walt Disney World since the beginning of the pandemic, this is a sign of two pre-pandemic offerings returning that were always very popular with guests. Make sure that you're subscribed to the Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty YouTube channel. It would really mean a lot to me if you would check out some of our vlogs and even leave some comments and likes. In the coming weeks, I will have vlogs of the Ariel meet and greet at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I'll have vlogs from that Jurassic Park tribute store. And I have some big things planned for my birthday weekend in a few weeks. I know that is going to make for some fun content. I'm also thinking about putting together something big from my pilgrimage hike in Ireland from last year. The 1-year anniversary of that trip is actually coming up next week. Right now, I'm going to pick up where we left off last week in our debate about which Walt Disney World theme park is the best, Epcot or Disney's Animal Kingdom. When we stopped last week, I was talking about how the inevitable switch of Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind at Epcot from a virtual queue to a standby line in the near future will change the guest flow dynamics in that park. I welcome back Marissa from Chicago. Marissa, what do you think that's going to look like?
Yeah, I think it'll be very interesting to see when that happens. I mean, to see when it happens, when they eventually pull it off the virtual queue, but also how that impacts the park itself. Because, hey, if everyone's standing in line for Guardians for 4 hours, Ratatouille might be a 30-minute wait, and that would be fantastic.
And Disney always has the problem, no matter what park, where the thing that's new is going to have the longest wait. So now, Remy's Ratatouille Adventure, a ride that we all know in a couple years will never go above 25 minutes, right now is still regularly passing an hour wait. Whereas Animal Kingdom has not gotten anything new in a long time. So the Pandora rides are still racking up those new wait times, which is a problem. And I think that this is getting into a different issue where both of the parks have some benefits and some negatives here. And that is that Animal Kingdom has not changed a lot since the opening of Pandora. And Epcot right now is in the middle of a dumpster fire of a refurbishment because you can't use half of the park. This is a negative for Epcot because of how many construction walls, but it's also a negative for Animal Kingdom because everybody has their strategy for Animal Kingdom, so they all know to rope drop Avatar Flight of Passage. So now Avatar Flight of Passage has a 3-hour wait from the moment the park opens, and they let the on-property guests get there a half hour early. So if you're not staying on property, you are waiting in line for Flight of Passage. With Epcot, we don't know what the park's going to look like in just a couple of months. We know we're eventually getting this Moana attraction. We don't exactly know what it is, but it's starting to show itself. And we're going to get a lot of stuff, which we might end up having to revisit this conversation. But it doesn't look like any of them are going to be rides or major attractions besides this Moana, the World of Water. So what do you sort of have to say about this attempt at a refurb in Epcot that ended up falling short because of the pandemic versus the stagnation of Animal Kingdom?
Yeah, I think right now, today, current times, present times, it is a huge plus that you can walk through Animal Kingdom without being obscured by walls. It doesn't impact the atmosphere of the park and the energy. Huge plus. Now, on the flip side, 5 years from now, when you're walking through Epcot and they've got a bunch of new stuff that you can see and do and experience, and Animal Kingdom doesn't have anything new, that's a huge point in Epcot's favor. It absolutely is. There's no way around that. And it just boils down to, Disney deciding what parks they're going to invest in. And right now, Epcot's getting kind of an investment. Like you said, it did get chopped because of the pandemic, but it is going to add, I think the Moana attraction is going to be really beautiful. Hopefully it adds some shade, or at least, a nice cool breeze coming out of all that water. And I think that's going to be a really great thing for people to experience and enjoy. And hey, who doesn't love a new thing? I think it's great.
Although I think we're both a little worried because we do love Animal Kingdom. Even though I have it second to Epcot, does not mean I don't love it. And we're worried about this blue sky concept art, about what they might be doing to Animal Kingdom. If all of a sudden there's a Moana land, okay, maybe. But if there's a Zootopia land where Dino Land USA is right now, I think we might have to revisit this topic because that might mess with the vibe of the park enough to really
If
change your mind. Because honestly, the vibe is 90% of Animal Kingdom.
100%. That's so true. Being able to walk through and just kind of enjoy it, it's peaceful, it's relaxing. You can just, there are areas where during the middle of the day in Animal Kingdom, you can walk through and not have any crowds, which is huge for Disney World. That is so rare. And you're not going to find that in Epcot unless you're like hanging out, maybe just right outside Figment all day long. But it's going to be a rare find. But boy, if they take out Dino Land and they put in Zootopia, oh, it's going to be a hard day for me. I will be struggling because right now it's pretty. You've got all the trees, you've got all the nature, it looks nice. You bulldoze that and put up a freaking city? Whew. I will be having words with whoever is in charge at that point if that does come to fruition.
It just really does not fit the theme. I know it's animals, but the animals are definitely filling in for people. It is more than any, even Finding Nemo. The animals are representing people even more than in something like Finding Nemo. So I understand why that fits in Animal Kingdom with the show. Zootopia would be a mess to get added there. So all the people who said Guardians of the Galaxy doesn't belong in Epcot compared to Zootopia maybe ending up in Animal Kingdom, I'm not a huge fan of Avatar being there because I'm just not a huge fan of Avatar, but I understand that the theme of Avatar fits with the theme of Animal Kingdom. And Joe Rohde, the Imagineer who created everything else in Animal Kingdom, also worked on Pandora, the world of Avatar, so it was still part of his vision. Zootopia just doesn't work for me. And I think that one of the things about Epcot is we needed a fresh injection of new things because it was getting stale. But it did get some of those things. It got Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. It got Guardians of the Galaxy. I think there are so many people who look at Epcot negatively because they're stuck in the past and they miss Horizons and some of these other things. But your average guest does not miss those things. So Soarin' replacing the Kitchen Rocks or whatever that show was with Veggie Fruit. Yeah, I have nostalgia for it, but nobody else knows what that is and doesn't care about it. So I think that Epcot is moving in the right direction by adding things. Now, that budget got slashed, and that could end up being a negative if they continue to grow Animal Kingdom in a way that makes sense.
I will say ultimately, if that rumored Mary Poppins ride coming to Epcot was actually based on Mary Poppins Returns, then it's a good thing it's not coming. And they made the right call, and hey, a little bonus for us. But Epcot continuing to grow while Animal Kingdom remains stagnant it will change the situation and it will add a lot to Epcot. I just hope that, Joe Rohde isn't actively an Imagineer anymore. So that impacts a lot. They have people, I'm sure, who he was fighting off trying to, change Animal Kingdom, who now may be in charge. And I just hope that they can find a way to continue to grow that park and add to Animal Kingdom in a way that's authentic with the park's whole message of conservation and nature. And it keeps it focused on animals and not anthropomorphic beings masquerading as animals in the case of Zootopia. Because I do think there's a lot you can do with Animal Kingdom. There's so much you can do to grow that park in a really beautiful way. And it would be remiss if they just decided to kind of take the easy way out and say, well, Zootopia is popular and we've got a sequel coming, so let's put that there.
So I want you to make the case for something that people are going to think Animal Kingdom is going to win this one hands down, but I think I'm going to make a pretty good argument on my side of things after you talk about shows, because Animal Kingdom has two amazing shows.
Yeah, Animal Kingdom does have some great shows. Festival of the Lion King is probably one of the best shows, if not the best, that you can see on Disney property. It is truly a Broadway quality show telling the story of the Lion King in a really fun, interactive way
Coming from
that
somebody who does go see actual Broadway shows. That's not just me saying this. Like, that is somebody who does enjoy Broadway saying that.
yeah, this is like my wheelhouse. I'm a huge, huge nerd for that kind of stuff. And it really is top notch, high quality. The performers are incredible. And seeing their talent live in a small theater like that is really exciting too, because, they are singing and dancing and there's acrobatics and there's fire. And there's so much happening to tell the story of the Lion King that you already know, so you can kind of get excited because you know the songs that are coming. You kind of know what's happening. And it's great. Kids will love it because it is fun and there's so much to look at and so much going on. Adults will love it for the same reason and also appreciate the talent and the hard work that goes into it. It is truly a must-see show if you are in Animal Kingdom. Make the time for it. You will not regret it. That alone takes the show category for me. But they also have a Finding Nemo show that, honestly, I haven't seen it because it used to be very long. And so I didn't take the time out of my day to see it because that's time that I could be riding Everest. But I have heard that it is a fabulous show as well.
I will say the Finding Nemo musical is very good. I enjoy it. They have shortened it a little bit now, so you might get the chance the next time you're there to see it if you so choose. Here's where I'm going to make the argument for Epcot, and I may lose this, but I will die on this hill and I will put up a good fight. Animal Kingdom definitely has the quality. It has the two shows that are this incredible quality. And quantity doesn't always beat quality, but Epcot has a lot when you think about the Voices of Liberty and you think about the Janitors, and they have musicians in the UK pavilion and at the Canada pavilion. They have the drummers in the Japan pavilion, the mariachi band over at the Mexico pavilion. During the holidays, they might have the Disney on Broadway concert series, as we said. There are the lion dancers in the holiday season. There are a lot of performers that will be at Epcot that, yes, they don't have anything as good as Festival of the Lion King. But when you're walking around a theme park all day, would you rather 10 things that you can stop and see for 5 minutes or one thing that you wait in line to see for a half of an hour? Both are valid, both have their purposes, but I'm going to say that I don't think it's as open and shut a case in Animal Kingdom's favor when it comes to entertainment, because you do have all of those other things. Some of them I don't even like all that much. I'm not huge into the Janitors. I'm not insulting them. It's just not my thing. Oh, okay, some janitors that play trash cans like drums. That's fine. Kids like it. But there's a lot of entertainment, and both of these parks, Epcot and Animal Kingdom, are meant to be meandered. They are not meant to be experienced like Magic Kingdom, where it's just ride, 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 ride. Or Hollywood Studios, where it's like, I got to get on Rise, and then I got to do Slinky, and then I got to do Tower of Terror. So these parks are meant to walk around, get some time off your feet, people watch, obviously animal watch. So I think that having quantity in this one particular case might be a little bit more important than quality. Now, This is the last case I'm going to make for Epcot. Oh.
I just want to say really quick, I agree. I think Epcot is a great entertainment park. Honestly, one of my favorite things to do is grab some food from a festival and go sit in the UK pavilion and listen to the piano player. I think that is really fun. It is a great way to just kind of relax, enjoy some vibes, and there is definitely something to be said for being able to walk around and catch a little bit of this show, a little bit of that show as you move through your day. So I agree. I think that in this category, it's kind of a draw depending on what you're looking for because they both offer so much.
And I don't really know where to throw this thing, so I think I'm going to throw it into entertainment while we're talking about this, and that is character meet and greets, where I think Epcot blows Animal Kingdom out of the water. You have all of the princesses: Snow White, Aurora, Belle. You have Anna and Elsa, Mulan. You have Donald in his Three Caballeros outfit. You're going to have Figment soon. There are so many quality meet and greets at Epcot. And with the exception of Mickey and Minnie in their very cute safari outfits, which I will grant you, that is very cute. I don't think that the meet and greet faction. Chipmunkosaurus. Chipmunkosaurus in Dino Land USA is also a good one. But I
I was
don't
going to
think
say,
that
wow.
necessarily competes with how much they have at Epcot, which was something that Epcot was missing when it used to be viewed as only an adult park. And now they really added those meet and greets to make it a park for kids as well.
I mean, look, you're going to tell me right now that having all the princesses and Figment is better than Chipmunkosaurus and
Chipmunkosaurus.
Launchpad?
Yeah, but
Are you
Launchpad isn't
kidding
there
me?
that much anymore. So I will hear
That's a shame.
you on that, but he's not there as much as he used to be in the past. Chipmunkosaurus is a very, very good meet and greet. And in the holidays, when they make that a costume over a costume over a costume, it is
It's great.
even better. Yes, I will grant
But
you Chipmunkosaurus. But if I'm taking my family, I don't know how excited kids would be about meeting Chipmunkosaurus compared to meeting all of those princesses. That's all
oh,
I'm
it's no
saying.
contest. It is no contest. Epcot, sweeps with that one. They have all the meet and greets that everyone could want ever. So, yes, they clean up in that category.
And I'm going to throw two miscellaneous categories where I think Epcot wins as well. And that is transportation to and from the park. Animal Kingdom, and granted, this is a quirk of its nature, like there's a reason for this, but it has to be further away from all of the other parks. And because it is separated like that, you can only get there by bus or by car. So that means even if you're staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, which you can almost see from the parking lot of Disney's Animal Kingdom, you're still taking a 7-minute bus ride or a 10-minute bus ride to get there. And on a vacation, that can wear on you. Epcot, you can take the monorail there, you can take the Skyliner there, you can park, and the parking lot is just right by the entrance. You hardly ever have to walk or take a tram as much as you do in the Animal Kingdom parking lot. I think that transportation, Epcot has it well over Animal Kingdom.
You can also take a boat to Epcot, which is fabulous. You can walk from certain resorts, and I think the Epcot area resorts are wonderful. I know we've talked about this before, but that resort area is one of the best. And the ease of being able to leave your hotel room and in 10 minutes have walked into the park is so wonderfully convenient, especially, at a late night when you just want to get back. You don't want to stand in line and get on a bus, possibly stand on that bus and then get back to your resort. So that is a huge plus.
And then flip that script, and you can walk from Epcot and get to one of those resorts in the middle of a busy park day. So if you want to stop and get a pizza from the pizza window at Boardwalk Resort, or if you want to get a drink at the Abracadabar, or I know you love the lounge at Yacht and Beach Club. I can't remember the name of it.
Ale and Compass.
Or you want to go to Ale and Compass in the middle of the day. You can do that and get off your feet a little bit in the middle of a busy day. The other thing, and I think that this is frustrating for an Animal Kingdom fan, because it's frustrating for me as an Animal Kingdom fan. I know you must hate it. At least Epcot is open past 7 or 8 o'clock at night.
Yeah, and Animal Kingdom, it used to be open later, and I have hope that on the horizon, later hours will happen. But yeah, it does stink when your day at Animal Kingdom ends at like 8 p.m. And on a related note, another thing in Epcot's favor is the nighttime show, which is one thing that I think Animal Kingdom is really missing. They've got that beautiful, beautiful Rivers of Light pavilion that's just going empty right now. And I would love to see them figure out a way to put a show back in there.
Now, I would have given Epcot a whole lot more points back when it was Harmonious, because I am not excited that it is Epcot Forever again. I just don't get excited about that show, and I really did love Harmonious. Whether they had to have the barges in there or not, I still loved it. But yes, I guess having a nighttime show is better than not having a nighttime show. And because they have the boats and they have the Skyliner, why don't you just park hop over to Disney's Hollywood Studios and see Fantasmic, which would be Marissa's advice anyway.
100%. If your choices are Epcot Forever, back for a limited time, or Fantasmic, you're going to Fantasmic. And if you don't go to Fantasmic, you're making a mistake. I'm sorry. It's a great show. It's a great show, and you should go see it.
Marissa's favorite Disney grammatical mistake is Epcot Forever, back for a limited time.
It just makes no sense. Why would you name an interim show Epcot Forever? I'm fine. And I'm not biased at all towards Fantasmic. Not even a little.
So, Marissa, I don't think we've changed any minds, but we got to talk for quite some time about our favorite theme parks. And I think that is a win in and of itself.
It absolutely is. And I'm coming in at the buzzer here with one last thing here. The Tree of Life. Gorgeous. Carved. Animals. That is all.
But I will counter with Spaceship Earth. So I think we're at least at a draw here. Like, I could wake up any day and have the scales tipped to either one of those. Like, I've never made up my mind. But I hear what you're saying. The Tree of Life is very, very beautiful. But, like, don't sleep on Spaceship Earth here.
Look, Spaceship Earth at night with those new lights they put on it, it's gorgeous.
And the Tree of Life may be beautiful at night. We don't know, because your park is never open late enough.
Look, in the winter you can see it at night because the sun sets early. That's the only defense.
Marissa, this was an absolute blast. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, thank you so much for having me and having this debate. It was so much fun.
This has been episode 122 of Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. It was great to have Marissa from Chicago back on the show the past 2 weeks. We are working together to make sure that she will be on a lot more this summer as we organize our schedules. I know a lot of people have also been asking about Sarah Says. Her son's school is getting out for the summer, which is going to free up a lot of time for Sarah. We're also getting some recording sessions down on paper so that she can return to being an ever-present co-host on the show. It makes me so happy that we have built something over the past 2.5 years that has caused people to ask what's happening if somebody isn't on the show for a few weeks. When I initially asked Sarah and Marissa to be my regular co-hosts, I was hoping that it would lead to a situation where people would have their favorites or look forward to finding out who will be joining me on any given Thursday. What I never expected was for them to become my close friends through this. Please understand that we have never made one dime off of this podcast. This is a labor of love, and we all have very busy lives. Schedules can be hard to coordinate. Nobody's getting replaced, and nobody is fighting with anybody else. While the two of them have been busy, the Sarah Enigma has come up with some fun ideas for the show, and she will be back next week to continue a segment in which she asks me questions about Walt Disney World that are coming from the point of view of a guest who doesn't get to visit the parks as frequently as some of us. A lot of times I worry that we can talk to a certain segment of our listeners who are regulars, while some people aren't aware of all of the resorts, restaurants, and areas that we mention without much explanation. The Sarah Enigma has come up with some great questions in these regards. You will hear from her next Thursday on Tall Guy Talks Travel with Rick Doherty. Until then, have a great week.